Lord 744 KNEB and our News Extra program next, brought to you today by Gering Civic Center. Here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. We're going to teach you or explain. You're all going to learn everything you wanted to know about Crimestoppers today. We have Susan Williams is here, president of the Crimestoppers board. Rick Myers is the secretary of that board, and then Ray Richards is over at the Scotts Bluff County Communications Center, and he's a big part of Crimestoppers as well. So we're just going to try to focus on what you can do with Crimestoppers to help law enforcement out. We'll have Susan take the microphone here real quick, and first thing we need to do is, for anybody that doesn't know, explain what the purpose of Crimestoppers is.
Well, Crimestoppers really is the medium for people to tell maybe something they've witnessed, and sometimes they don't even realize they've witnessed a crime. But it's an idea for them to be able to relate any information they might have to the police department, and we're kind of the medium, because people kind of fear sometimes about who do they call, how do they get in touch with somebody. Once they get in touch with somebody, is anybody going to care? And so if they call Crimestoppers, they can be assured that somebody is going to care and their information is going to get where it needs to go. In addition, everything is anonymous, it's confidential, so they don't have to even give their name if they don't want to. And we'll help relay that information to the police department. We'll take that information and act upon it if they can do that. So, like I said, it's just kind of the medium to get people to speak up and tell what they know.
Yeah. And it's been around, we were talking, we know it's at least over 20 years, because all four of us here remember the commercials with Tim Daniels on KSTF and how they kind of tried to recreate the crime and all that stuff. And Tim is probably shaking in his boots over there at home, wherever he's at. He's probably reliving all that stuff. But we all remember that, and so it's been around a long time.
Yes, it has. Quite a long time. I could have maybe dug through our history, see if I could found the exact date. I'm not sure exactly, but Crimestoppers actually nationally has been around for years and years and years. And then, of course, Scotts Bluff County has been doing it for quite some time as well. It really is time we need to get our message back out there to people. Things have kind of dropped off as far as calls are concerned. We need to get people understanding again what they need to do, how they can contact people, how they can assist law enforcement to do their job, and so this is why we're here today, and just to kind of relay our message again and get people interested and help them understand what they can do, and again that they don't have to be afraid. They don't have to be afraid of retaliation for their family if the criminal if they think the criminal might find out who gave information or something like that, which is a big point as well.
Yeah. Okay, I'll hand it over to Rick. I guess that is a big point. Some people are either afraid that they're of retribution from the suspect, or afraid that if they call in information, they might be considered a suspect themselves, and that's not the case.
No, that's not the case, Kevin. I think the way that it works, if you call 632-7867 or 632-STOP, you can give your information. That information is then forwarded on to law enforcement, and many of the calls that we've gotten in the past get referred to the wing drug investigation group. They get a lot of calls. The law enforcement will follow up on these calls, and then we may not know right away. In fact, we don't even know that the call has been made until we have a regular meeting, and we get a report that says we got 3 or 4 calls, we got no calls. If the calls are worthy, they get investigation. And occasionally, if we get an arrest, or if we get information that leads to the recovery of stolen materials or something, we can act on it as a board. We as a board meet to act on reward requests. Excuse me. And so we look at that. So sometimes we're active. We've had several meetings where we haven't had any business at all. Other times we'll get a recommendation for a reward.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the big thing, and what is the reason why maybe things have dropped off? Is it social media? Is social media maybe part of that, or Or do you think that has anything to do with it? Or maybe it's just because I mentioned a lot on crime stories that if you've seen anything, make sure you call.
And I think Susan touched on it a little bit. It's the potential a caller feels that there may be retribution, that somebody may say, well, you called Crimestoppers on me, and then whatever happens after that. And I think that's a nationwide problem that we've heard from other Crimestoppers, that this is going on. But locally, I don't know. I think that either people don't see the number out there, or they don't read it's posted in the Star Herald. It's posted on, KNEB puts it up. It's around. We've had billboards, so we don't really know what the answer is.
Yeah, but hopefully we can get calls increased a little bit more. Ray, you've been involved with this since the inception, pretty much, right?
Well, for a number of years.
Don't want to talk about your age here, but I was thinking pretty close to the inception.
You don't have to do numbers, but a long time. And a thing with Crimestoppers is the telephone system itself is manned at the communication center, and we're there, all day and all night. So someone will answer that phone, and people say, well, if we're calling the communication center, that's a recorded line. Crimestoppers phone is not a recorded line. We record all of our radios and the 911 systems and those things, but we do not capture any of the audio on Crimestoppers. So when you call in, you truly remain anonymous. And you can give the information about someone selling tools, someone they heard talking at a local coffee shop, or in an alley behind the church, or something that they participated in or that they saw, that type of thing. And that information is pushed out to the agency that has the jurisdiction. We first push it to Scotts Bluff Police, and then they distribute from there, because it could be a Mitchell case, it could be the county sheriff or something, and they'll take care of getting it pushed out to whoever's involved with that specifically. And as Rick had mentioned, a majority of those do go to the drug task force, because the drug issues here are rather prevalent, unfortunately. So a lot of them are tied into the drug activity, because people are stealing things to generate cash for the drugs. It's a kind of a cycle that begins with that. But people do remain anonymous.
Okay. Rewards. Rick mentioned rewards. You guys have given out quite a few rewards. People think, well, I'm not going to get a reward. It's not a big deal. But if you give a significant tip, and it's almost as much a tip line anymore as it is. I viewed maybe somebody hears something or finds out about something and I think I better tell somebody about this.
I think in about the 15 years that probably Susan and I have been members of this board, we've given as little as $25 or $50, but I think we've given several hundred for major tips that's resulted in the recovery of items that have been stolen. And even a couple occasions I can remember where we have given a reward, and then the entity or the business where the thefts have taken place, they've actually come back and given money back to Crimestoppers to seed our reward fund. And so we say we can give up to 1,000, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised. We've got some unsolved major crimes in this community. If we had something that would result in a good solid tip where we could solve a couple of these big crimes, you might see $1,000 out there for easily $1,000, because some of those are pretty frustrating that they can't solve.
Yeah, I agree. The reason why you and Susan got involved with this, I know why Ray's part of it and so forth, but why did you and Susan get involved?
I got involved possibly because of my role. I worked at the Star Herald for a lot of years, and they tried to get somebody from the media to help out a little bit, and we've had really good success with that. So, but it was something I was interested in at the time, and part of the volunteers that I've done in the community. But I think as much because I was with the Star Herald at the time.
All right.
Well, I actually had a good friend who was a member of Crimestoppers, and he decided to go on and do something different, and asked me if I would be interested. And I thought, maybe that would be a wonderful way that I could help the community. It sounded very interesting. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a very good learning experience, and I guess I've never been involved with the law side of things, with police departments and that kind of thing, and it's been very interesting. Very
All right.
interesting.
Okay. Real quick again, the number is 632-7867. 632-7867. We're running out of time here real quick, Ray.
If you know anything about the Jason Vesper homicide, call Crimestoppers. That's a 5-year-old case.
Yes.
Somebody knows something.
Yep. I
That's
agree.
one of those big rewards.
It's one of
that
those
we're
big
looking at.
rewards.
Absolutely.
That
We'd
could
love
happen.
to give away money.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
All
got a
right.
lot of money to give away too. So.
All right. Okay. 632-7867. Crime Stoppers. Make a call if you know something.
Good for you.